Hello and welcome to CMS Forex News. I'm Nick Nassad. Today is June 5th. The Reserve Bank of New Zealand held rates at 8.25% as anticipated, but also sounded more dovish. CPI inflation is still lingering and is expected to peak at 4.7% annually in the September quarter. The expectation is for inflation to calm down in the medium term. However, the language was stronger in regards to weakening growth in the economy. The New Zealand dollar-US dollar pair fell more than 100 pips directly after the release, from 0.78 to 0.77. Overnight, the pair continued falling until it found support near 0.7615 around the New York Open. This amounted to a 180 pip swing from prior to the release. Australia's trade deficit shrank to 1 billion Australian dollars, more than halving March's 2.7 billion deficit. It's the narrowest figure in 14 months. Exports surged 5.8%, the most since 1971 when the government started to post these numbers. Despite a strong Aussie, exports were buoyed by strong demands for Australia's natural resources. UK housing prices fell 2.4% in May, according to the Halifax Bank of Scotland. On the year, prices were 3.8% lower. Prices for homes rose rapidly the last few years, and now that housing bubble is deflating. A squeeze on real income and a reduction in credit availability is pressuring the housing market. The Bank of England held rates at 5% as expected. Despite a mounting evidence of a slowdown in the economy, the Bank of England will be hard-pressed to cut rates as consumer inflation lingers at an annual pace of 3% and threatens to reach 4%. The longer the Monetary Policy Committee holds rates at 5% to combat inflation, the stronger the pound will be. The pound-dollar pair sank in favor of the dollar following the 3 a.m. release of housing prices. The pair hit a low at 1.9460, and after the Bank of England announcement, found some strength. The pound rallied about 100 pips to trade near the 1.9560 level. The pound-yen pair rose overnight, finding resistance at 207.40 in New York morning trading. The rally overnight capped off a 280 pip move starting from yesterday's low near 204.60. The London exchange was mixed but fared better than other European markets. German factory orders declined 1.8% for the month of April, though on the year orders were up 15%. First quarter orders were better than expected, but recent activity has cooled and the German economy is feeling the pressure of a downturn in both domestic and global demand. The European Central Bank today held rates at 4% as expected. In ECB President Trichet's press conference, he stated that inflation had significantly increased since last year and would remain at elevated levels for longer than first thought. The central bank was in a heightened state of alertness, and that anchoring these inflation expectations would be their main concern. In his question and answer session, Trichet admitted that several policy members made the case for higher rates. With the prospect of an interest rate hike on the table, the euro-dollar pair rose strongly during and directly after Trichet's conference. From a low near 1.5370, the pair surged 190 pips by 1:30 p.m. Eastern to reach the 1.5570 level. This is slightly above the level at which the pair started the week and makes up the ground the euro lost following Bernanke's speech on Tuesday. In the US, there was only one release, with weekly jobless claims surprising. For the week ending May 31st, there were 357,000 initial claims, 18,000 lower than in the previous week. Data recently has shown that firms are reluctant to hire new workers, but at the same time are not shedding their current payrolls at the same numbers as they did during previous downturns. The dollar-yen pair rose overnight, setting an intraday high at 106.40. Despite the better-than-expected jobless claims and strong gains in U.S. equities, the yen paired some of its earlier losses. This may have been a result more of dollar weakness in other pairs, and the dollar-yen pair perhaps being overbought after a three-day rally from the 104 level. In Canada, approvals for building permits rose 14.5% in April, coming in way above forecasts and reversing some of March's 4.5% drop. It's the highest level since October. Multi-family homes led the larger-than-expected increase as they jumped almost 40%, overshadowing a 2.4% fall in single-family units. In a second release, the IV PMI measured 62.5 for May, also better than expected. It means that more firms are spending more compared to last month. The US dollar-Canadian dollar pair rose higher overnight, finding resistance at 1.0220. With both economies putting out better than expected data, there was consolidation during New York trading, with the pair trading below 1.02 as of 2 p.m. Eastern. The loonie has been pressured by weaker data, especially its GDP for the first quarter, and speculation that the Bank of Canada will move to lower rates in its next meeting. Tonight, Australia posts data on its construction sector. Overnight, Germany reveals industrial production figures. Tomorrow morning, both Canada and the US post their employment reports, with the US non-farm payroll change expected to show a decline of 57,000 jobs for the May period. And that wraps up this Thursday in the Forex markets. Thank you for joining us here at cmsfx.com, and happy trading.